Do you ever feel that flutter in your chest? That constant, restless feeling that something's just off. It isn't always a loud, panicked racing. Sometimes it's just a quiet hum of unease, a sense that your heart is constantly braced for impact. The secret to calming your heart isn't just in your head. It's in a hidden conversation happening inside your body. We're going to explore that connection, look at the science behind why your heart feels this way, and give you the tools to finally quiet that storm and get your calm back. Section 1, the hidden connection, why your heart is on high alert. So why can't your heart find peace? It all starts with the powerful link between how you feel and how your body reacts. Think of your brain as the body's highly sensitive security guard. When it senses a threat, it doesn't matter if it's a real danger, like a car swerving towards you, or a perceived one, like a stressful email. It flips on an ancient survival switch called the fight or flight response. This response is fueled by a rush of stress hormones, mainly adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline is the first responder. It's the alarm bell that makes your heart pound and your breath quicken, getting you ready to act. Cortisol is like the crisis manager. It floods your body with energy and tightens up your arteries to pump blood harder and faster, sustaining the emergency response. In short bursts, this system is brilliant. It can save your life. But what happens when the stress isn't a one-time event, but a chronic, low-level hum of worry? Your brain's alarm system gets stuck in the on position. It's like a smoke detector that's so sensitive it goes off every time you make toast. Day after day, it sends a steady drip of these stress hormones into your body, and that's where the trouble for your heart begins. This constant signal tells your heart to stay on high alert. Your resting heart rate creeps up, your blood pressure rises, and your heart has to work harder just to get through the day. Over time, this doesn't just feel bad. It can lead to physical changes. This constant state of alarm is like running your car's engine in the red for months on end. It causes wear and tear. Inside your body, this is called systemic inflammation, where your body's internal security team becomes overzealous and starts to damage the hallways, your blood vessels. This is a contributing risk factor for the buildup of plaque, a condition known as atherosclerosis. At the same time, the part of your brain that acts as your stress processor, the amygdala, can become overactive. It's a chain reaction. Emotional stress is the first domino, tipping over brain activity, which then topples hormones, which directly impacts your heart. Your heart isn't being dramatic. It's physically responding to a constant internal state of emergency. That flutter, that racing, that unease, it's the physical echo of a mind that's always bracing for a threat. This also creates a vicious cycle. You feel a heart palpitation, and your mind, already on edge, jumps to the worst-case scenario. Am I having a heart attack? This new wave of fear triggers another surge of adrenaline, making the palpitations even worse. You get trapped in a feedback loop where your heart and your mind are like two people in a dark room, each mistaking the other for a monster and scaring each other into a frenzy. Section 2. Is it anxiety or a heart problem? When to get help? Now, this next part is incredibly important. While anxiety is a common cause of these sensations, you should never, ever self-diagnose chest pain or persistent heart symptoms. You have to rule out any underlying heart conditions first. Here's a general guide to tell the difference. But please remember, this is not a substitute for seeing a doctor. Anxiety-related chest sensations often feel like a sharp stabbing or localized pain, almost like a sudden alarming pinch. They tend to pop up suddenly during moments of high stress and often come with other classic anxiety symptoms, like a feeling of doom, tingling in your hands and feet, or shortness of breath. Usually, these feelings peak within 10 to 20 minutes and fade as you start to calm down. In contrast, chest pain from a heart attack is more often described as a heavy pressure, squeezing, or fullness in the center of your chest, like a heavy weight is sitting on you. The pain can spread to your arm, jaw, back, or stomach. It's often joined by other symptoms like shortness of breath, a cold sweat, or nausea, and it typically doesn't go away if you try to rest. Here's your rule of thumb. If you are ever in doubt, or if you have severe chest pain, can't breathe, or feel like you're going to faint, you need to seek emergency medical help. Call your local emergency number right away. If your palpitations are happening more often, lasting for several minutes at a time, or if you have a family history of heart problems, make an appointment to see a doctor. They can run tests like an ECG to figure out what's really going on. Getting that clarity is the first step. It can bring huge peace of mind and let you focus on managing the anxiety part with confidence. Section 3, the solution, how to calm the storm in your chest. Once you've ruled out any medical emergencies, you can start breaking that cycle of anxiety and bring some peace back to your heart. The goal isn't just to ignore the anxiety, it's to actively calm your body's stress response and retrain how your mind reacts. Let's break this down into 3 parts: calming your body, rewiring your mind, and transforming your lifestyle. Part 1, immediate calm, the body. When your heart is racing, you can't just think your way out of it. You need to send a direct signal to your body that you're safe. Your most powerful tool for this is your breath, because it directly talks to something called the vagus nerve. Think of the vagus nerve as the brake pedal for your body's stress engine. While the fight or flight response is the gas pedal, pushing you faster and faster, the vagus nerve is what you press to slow everything down. By controlling your breath, you can stimulate this nerve and tell your brain to switch from panic mode to calm mode, which naturally slows your heart rate and lowers your blood pressure. Let's try a simple and powerful technique right now called box breathing. It's used by everyone from Navy SEALs to nurses to manage stress. First, get comfortable in your seat. You can place a hand on your heart if that feels right. Now, gently breathe out all the air from your lungs. Next, inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Now, hold your breath for a count of 4. Slowly exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. And finally, just hold your breath at the bottom for a count of 4. Do this 4 or 5 times. Do you feel how that simple rhythm forces you to slow down? It's a direct intervention that cuts off the panic signal and tells your heart the danger has passed. You can use this anytime, anywhere you feel that anxiety starting to bubble up. Part 2, rewiring the mind from enemy to ally. Calming your body is the first step, but for long-term peace, you have to work with the thoughts that trigger the stress in the first place. The goal isn't to stop anxious thoughts. That's pretty much impossible. The goal is to change your relationship with them. This is where mindfulness comes in. When you feel an anxious thought or a physical symptom like a palpitation, instead of immediately getting swept away by fear, try a technique called name it to tame it. Just acknowledge the feeling without judging it. Say to yourself, "This is anxiety," or "My heart is beating fast because my body is having a stress response." By naming it, you create a little bit of space between you and the feeling. It's like hearing a car alarm go off down the street. Instead of panicking, you just note, a car alarm is going off, and then you can choose not to let it consume your attention. You are not the anxiety, you are the one observing the anxiety. This simple shift takes you from being a passenger on a runaway train of fear to being the conductor who can see what's happening and gently guide the train to a stop. You stop fighting the feeling, which only creates more tension, and instead you get curious. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Often, that physical sensation is just a messenger, letting you know about an unresolved stressor in your life. When you listen without panicking, you can address the real issue instead of just reacting to the symptom. Part 3, long-term peace, the lifestyle. Finally, building a resilient heart and mind depends on a foundation of healthy habits. Think of these habits as building a stronger fortress for your well-being. This isn't about being perfect, it's about consistently making choices that support your nervous system. First, get moving. Regular exercise, about 150 minutes a week, helps build up the walls of your fortress and is one of the best ways to manage stress hormones. It doesn't have to be intense. A brisk walk outside can work wonders. Next, focus on your sleep. Sleep is when the nightly repairs happen on your fortress. A lack of it raises cortisol levels and puts your body in a state of stress before your day even starts. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep a night. And finally, look at what you're consuming. Stimulants like caffeine and alcohol can be direct triggers for palpitations and anxiety, essentially opening the gates to let the stress in, especially if you're sensitive to them. This journey to finding peace in your heart is a practice. It starts with understanding that deep connection between your mind's worries and your heart's physical response. Your body isn't betraying you. It's communicating with you in the only language it has. The path to peace is built on these 3 pillars: using your breath to hit the brakes on your body's stress engine, reframing your thoughts to become the conductor of your mind, and building a lifestyle that strengthens your inner fortress. You have the power to break this cycle. You can learn to quiet the storm in your chest. Peace isn't about having no challenges. It's about learning how to stay calm within them. I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, share one thing you're going to try to bring more peace to your heart. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video was helpful, please subscribe for more content on finding calm and resilience in a stressful world. Thank you for being here. Be well and be kind to yourself. Every day is a bonus. Charles Odia.